Richician!
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and I am profiling my Blackwing deck. So yeah, despite saying that I wasn't going to build or rebuild any more decks, I ended up getting Blackwings again, because, well, I kept ending up with, I kept pulling a lot of the cards from packs, and randomly picking them up in trades, just in case. Yeah, here it is with the support from Darkwing Blast, and I also like how it has Black Feather counters as well, one of the easiest supers from OTS 21 to pull. I sort of pulled one myself last week and then just got the other one because it was lying around. So let's just get straight into the profile. I'll only explain what the new cards do, as you should know what everything else does by now, hopefully. So I've got 2 copies of Simoon, one Chris, one Shura, one Bora, one Zephyros, and 2 copies of the new, well, one of the new cards, Blackwing Shamal the Sandstorm. The effect of this card is I can send it from my hand to the graveyard to place a Black Feather Whirlwind from my deck face up in my spell and trap zone. Also, if a Blackwing Synchro Monster or Blackwing Dragon is special summoned to my field while this is in my graveyard, except during the damage step, I can banish this card, target a Blackwing in my graveyard, add it to my hand, then I take 700 points of damage, and each effect of it is a hard once per turn. Next, I'm playing one of the new Searchers, 2 copies of Blackwing Sudri the Phantom Glimmer. What he does is, when this card is normal summoned, I can add a card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from my deck to my hand, except itself. And yeah, the other effect I don't seem to use, because I keep forgetting about it. Not that it came up earlier, but yeah, it allows me to tribute a monster and special summon a Phantom Glimmer token, Winged Beast Tuner, Dark, level 2, 700 attack and defense, then I take 700 points of damage, and I cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn I activate this effect, except Synchro monsters, and again both effects are a hard once per turn. Then I'm playing 3 copies of Colute, then 2 copies of Gale, 2 copies of Ulster, 2 copies of Blizzard. One Blackwing player actually questioned why I'm still playing Blizzard, but it's because it's still good. Like, it's an instant level 6 synchro, or it could be higher if I have other Blackwings. So yeah, Blizzard is still something that's not to be sniffed at. Then 3 copies of Pinarchy, the Sangan of the deck, pretty much. Then 1 copy of Harmattan. Then 2 copies of what's this one called? Vata the Knave. So his effects are, if I control a Blackwing other than another copy of itself, special summon it from my hand, and I can only special summon it once per turn this way, and during my main phase I can send this card on the field to the graveyard along with 1 or more non-tuner Blackwings from my deck, so the total levels sent to equal exactly 8, and if I do, I special summon a Blackwing Dragon from the extra deck. Also, I cannot special summon from the extra deck except Dark monsters, and once again, each effect is a hard once per turn. And finally, the last card is another hand trap for them, which I don't use very much, but this one is called Chinook the Snow Strike. So I can send this from my hand or field to the graveyard to target a monster the opponent controls, then send a Blackwing Synchro, send a Blackwing Synchro Monster or Blackwing Dragon from extra deck to the graveyard, and until the end of the turn, the targeted monster loses 700 attack and its effects are negated. And it's a quick effect if I control a Dark Synchro Monster. and again this effect is a hard once per turn. And that's going to do it for the monsters. Let's get on to the spells. So for the spells, I'm playing one copy of the new spell, Black Feather Whirlwind. Once per turn, if I special summon a Dark Synchro monster from my extra deck, except during the damage step, I can target one of my Blackwing monsters or Blackwing dragon that is banished or in my graveyard with less attack than the special summoned monster, special summon it. Once per turn, if a dark monster you control would be destroyed by battle or a card effect, I can remove one Black Feather counter from my field instead. Then 3 copies of Black Whirlwind, that's pretty standard. Allure of Darkness, because I'm playing nothing but darks. Monster Reborn, Regeki, and Twin Twisters. That's it for the spells. Now for the traps, I guess I'll show them. 2 copies of Blackwing Twin Shadow. I really like this card, I'm not gonna lie. It allows me to shuffle 2 Blackwing monsters, a tuner and a non-tuner that are banished or in the graveyard, back into the deck or extra deck, special summon a Blackwing Synchro monster or Blackwing Dragon from my extra deck, whose levels equal the total levels of those 2 monsters. This is treated as a synchro summon. If I control 2 or more Blackwings, I can activate this card from my hand, and its activation is a hard once per turn. Then 2 copies of Blackbird Close for a monster effect negation on the field, and Storming Mirror Force, because in most cases it's better than regular Mirror Force. And that's it for the main deck. On with the extra deck, starting with their new boss monster, 2 copies of Blackwinged Assault Dragon, which unfortunately I didn't get to summon earlier, but of course I did during the Dark Richician's Deck Grand Championship. So yeah, this is the upgrade of Blackwing Dragon. Its materials are 2 the Synchro and 1 or more non-tuner monsters, and it must be either synchro summoned or special summoned from my extra deck by banishing a synchro tuner and a Blackwing Dragon from my field or graveyard. And each time the opponent activates a monster effect, I put a Black Feather counter on this card when that effect resolves, and if I do, inflict 700 points of damage to the opponent. And during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card with 4 more Black Feather counters on it, then destroy all cards on the field. That is very destructive. Then 2 copies of Blackwing Full Armor Master, the one I mainly go for. Pretty standard. I know not everyone likes it, because it's unaffected by card effects and takes monsters, and yeah, I know that's annoying, but there are so many monsters that are so much worse than this card. Like, now, I have several top 10 hated lists of certain monsters. Go check those out if you haven't done so. I mean, as annoying as it is being on the receiving end of Full Armor Master, monsters that negate everything, or Dark Bribes on legs, are so much worse, and no one can tell me otherwise. Then Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, because it's a great generic level 8, and I'm actually playing 2 copies now of Black-Winged Dragon. I miss my ultimate rare print. I've been playing 1 for the longest time, but I figured with lots of cards supporting it, I felt like I should bump it up to 2, just to get more use out of it and all the support cards. So I think that's 2 should be okay, I think, maybe. Then 1 copy of Chidori, the Rain Sprinkling. Then 2 copies of Crow's Ace Monster from Arc 5, 2 copies of Raikuri, then 1 copy of Obsidian Hawk Joe, then 1 copy of my favourite Blackwing, the original Blackwing Armor Master, and the original Blackwing Synchro. I know Blackwing players typically don't play it anymore, but but I want to, because I really like Armour Master, always have done. Like I said before, to me it's the Dark Magician and Elemental Hero Neos of the deck. He still has his uses. Then one copy of Bora Storm, the Wicked Wind. I wasn't sure whether or not to play one of it or two, but I settled with one in the end. Obviously I'm not an expert on playing Blackwings, I'm just playing it the way I want to, really. So the effect of this card is, well, this is the Synchro Tuner that you use if you want to go into Assault Dragon. So it needs a Dark Tuner and one or more tuners. Okay, so oh no, it can't be played outside of a Blackwing deck, never mind. If this card is Synchro Summoned, you can send a Blackwing monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the same level as that monster's. So generally you'd want to mill Zephyros, or if he's not present in the deck, just whatever you need, really, depending on the situation. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, I can banish a Blackwing monster from my graveyard or face up on the field, except the destroyed monster, and special summon the destroyed monster to my field in defense mode. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's not something that comes up very often. I just use it for its first effect, usually. So basically it's Go-Go Guardian, but with a cost. That's pretty cool. Don't know how often that's going to come up. And I can use each effect once per turn. Then one copy of No Fung, and my one and only Link monster is Raid Raptor Wise Strix. Just to try and get Zephyros out the deck, really. If I need more setup and more cards to work with. Doesn't come up that often, but I like having the option. And yeah, obviously no Halka-Fibrax, because that thing's kind of banned. With good reason, obviously. And yeah, that is it for my own Blackwing deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and a comment, share and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. And hopefully I can get out this card in a duel. And yeah, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.